Are pre-built computers still bad? That's the question I want to answer today. Are they still overpriced, not necessarily the best parts, and do they have a lot of problems? I want to take a look today and compare a system that I've built or I've picked out, compare it to a system that you can find online. Now, for this to be an even, fair view over everything, I only included parts that have warranties so that you still get a warranty in between both. Yes, you have to go through and do the warranty manually rather than shipping it off to a company, but that's kind of the part about PC building. So that I will account for. Now, for this price range, I want to set $1,000. I actually did my previous video, or actually I think 2 videos ago, was on a $1,000 kind of streaming PC. But I want to see what $1,000 will get us if we went just totally pre-built. Now, obviously, I'll be using this PC part reference as, of course, reference as for $1,000 and what you can actually get, and of course, comparing it to what we will find online and see what graphics and what we'll expect to see from there. Now, obviously, I understand that we won't really expect to see something specialized, so I don't expect to see something like a Ryzen in there maybe. I'm willing to give up, trade for an i5 and a higher GPU, maybe like a 1070, which obviously won't happen. But, something along those. I'm willing to even out the balance of actually how good it is in value, not really just basing off of does it have this part, does it have this part. So in order for this to be an accurate test, I got to go online and I actually got to find a wide range of PC builds. I actually went through on my Discord server and posted out a little thing for people to find some things, and of course I found what people think are the best deals they could find online for what the parts they could get. So this is going to be a video kind of going over and explaining, of course, the video that I did a little bit. You can check out that part video and why I chose each part and stuff, and of course going through and looking at another video, and of course looking at the parts for the these pre-built computers that we can find online. So let's get into it.
Okay, so here we are in Google Docs. I'll be putting a link to this in the description so you can see all the options. So I've picked the best 4 out of my personal opinion that are really the best deals out of the 20 that I received. Well, actually it was like 23, but the good bit that I received. So this in comparison is the part list that I've chosen here. Now, as you can see, I've updated this slightly since from the last video that I did, the last video about the the budget computer streaming list. Actually, I had an SSD and tweaked a couple other things to keep the price a little bit under the $1,000 budget. Now, some of these computers will actually be over this, and they will even have things that are not necessarily even equivalent to this. So just basically just a Ryzen X470 motherboard, some 3000 megahertz RAM, SSD 128, which I understand will be bigger for some of these, so I will take that into consideration. A 1 terabyte hard drive, a 1066 gigabyte, which 6 gigabyte, and then a master, Cooler Master, and then of course Seasonic. So let's start off with the first one, shall we? Let's see this. So this is the first gaming computer. As you can see, price. They did a good job with keeping under the price. So let's actually take a look if I can find out where these specs are. So, processor speed. Let's see. We've got only 8 gigabytes of RAM. We've got a Ryzen 5, which barely, and this has only 4 cores and 8 threads. There's a 256 SSD capacity, but I'm assuming this is not M.2, and I would also assume since the memory speed, oh my gosh, that's not good for Ryzen. That is not necessarily noticeable. I hope the graphics card. Let's see what the graphics card is. Let's see. So we got a hard drive, which, okay, that makes sense. We've got, let's see, is there a graphics card? I'm sure I'm missing it. Graphics, let's see, desktop video graphics. Okay, so there's a 6 gigabyte, I'm sorry, I was missing it. I knew I'd be missing it. So there's a 6 gigabyte right there, which honestly, that's pretty good. I don't know if it's the two option like this. I prefer 2 fans just for better cooling, and I know Asus is a really good kind of computer brand for the parts. They have nice quality. So honestly, it's not necessarily really appealing to me, especially since we're talking about something that's kind of first gen. I would say that by now we don't even know what the motherboard is, and I'm assuming since it's that kind of not an overclocking processor, it is most likely not going to have a nice motherboard on it. So I would assume it's probably a B or maybe even A series motherboard. So now we'll go into this one. Now this is a Z370 motherboard. So I have gone through and only started with the basics. As you can see, there are lots of options, and this is just the basics. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys the basic options on here. So first of all, case, I'm just kind of, case can really matter. I'm just trying to use the defaults that are what it's basically giving me. So as you can see here, we are getting stuck with an i3, which is 2 threads and 4 cores. So it's actually allowing me to upgrade to the i5 with the 6 cores. So that's 6 cores, which is still not as good as the 6 cores, 12 threads that we got with the Ryzen. And then of course we're going to take a look here, and we've only got 8 gigabytes here. Graphics card, we better have something good. Oh, well, it looks like we don't even have a 1060, let alone, so that's a problem there. Motherboard, we are looking at a Z370A Pro, which honestly, I don't know why they decided. Honestly, we're going with an i3, you really don't need that. Oh my gosh, a completely, I've never even seen a 350 watt power supply. Primary hard drive, we've got a 1 terabyte, and that's it. And then you got no optical drive, no sound card, and there is no Wi-Fi card, which obviously didn't have one on the other one, but still, I'm just saying this does not look like, you know, yes, it didn't include Windows, but Windows, you know, you can get pretty much, I mean, that's the extra price right there. Windows is the extra price, the extra $80 right there. And honestly, you can go online and get it legally, all perfectly, you know, resell through one of the resale companies like Kinguin or something I've used, actually. That's what I personally have on here. So that basically, I mean, it'd be different. Like, I'm not saying, obviously it's an $80 off above budget, which is why I didn't, you know, the Windows 10 isn't included in there. But if you look at it, it's clearly not anywhere close. So that was the second option. Let's hope that the third one is a little bit better. So this is a CyberPower PC. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. So let's take a look now to see what we got here. So performance, we've got a 1060, which it doesn't include. We finally have a Ryzen 5. Well, this is of course first gen and it's not overclocked. 8 gigabytes of memory, and we have a little bit of problems. So let's see, we've got 12 threads, 2 terabyte hard drive, okay, and 6 gigabytes graphics cards. Okay, that's also not that bad. So I would say the 2 terabyte, you know, is pretty good. I feel like there's I mean, I wouldn't have spent my money on the 2 terabyte. There is no SSD that I can see so far, and it does include Windows 10, and this comes into just under, that actually I would say is probably a pretty good deal. That's, I mean, if you add the Windows 10 in there, I mean, I would say that's about relatively decent. Honestly, you should definitely go with an X processor, and I mean, with Ryzen 2 Gen 2 out, I think it's definitely worth it, especially to spend the extra 100 or so to get that. But this is definitely market value, so I would say that this is decent. So now, let's just take a look at, was this the last one that we did? Was this, no, this is the last one. Okay, this one was interesting. So this one is basically, it's got a Z370 motherboard, i3, which is the 8th gen. It's got some 8 gigabyte memory, graphics. Let's see what we got default here. We have 2 gigabytes. Oh boy. Which, can you edit the overclock? Oh boy, that's not a good idea. Storage, you have a, oh my gosh, 500 gigabyte. You have no SSD. CPU, do you want to delid? Okay, well, this is military. Oh boy. And yeah, this is not looking good. I mean, that case, don't get me wrong, that case looks pretty cool, but if you have a problem, overclock graphics card, what the heck? Experience over, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Let's see. So I might have a little fun over here in a second, but as I know it's definitely a bot. But I will going to kindly wrap up this video. So first off, I want to talk about what we've learned. Now, one of these options out of 4, and actually these are the best out of the 20, I would say yes, there are PCs that are good deals. You can get pre-built. Yes, but majority is a no. There is absolutely some that are completely a waste. So I don't think, and I'm not trying to hate on anybody, I'm just going through the best of the best. And as you can see, some of them were for different reasons, but you can really see that, you know, this one I thought was the personal best that I've seen. But after that, I haven't seen anything that's market value. Like, I felt like this one was what it was. It had a Ryzen 1600. I mean, I would have upgraded a couple things, but the price you can't beat. And honestly, this case, which is the Thermaltake View, I think this is the View 31 maybe. That just can't be really beat. So I mean, it's obviously you come with these accessories, and I mean you get LED lighting control and stuff. Like you can't really beat that. So I mean, I'm not here to complain. You get all those accessories. That's definitely pretty much worth it. I would, without a doubt. So that's gonna wrap it for today's video. If you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you around, and goodbye. So, turns out I don't think it's a bot. I'm not sure. But I'd like to try to see what I can do out of this. Because I've said PUBG and I really want to see, first of all, this is, out of everything, this has been the, kind of the most, I don't know, I don't want to say something bad, but it's not the best deal. And, I want to see what I'm going to be told I should be using for PUBG for this. Well, follow up. I thought I wasn't going to get disappointed today. But I'm gonna read this conversation as it's going down. I don't think this is a bot, sadly, which makes me really concerned for people out there getting scammed. Because this is, I will be willing to say that this is not true. From my personal experience, I don't think so. So let's start about this. So first off, I start talking about like this is like, and I thought it was a bot, so I responded to it. I was like, "Am I gonna get a response?" Okay. As you can hear, it's going down there. So he says the price range. I said the $1,000, and then he sends me a link to this build, which has an APU, which I'm going through doing the parts right now, and 99% sure it's not gonna come close. And I'm gonna actually do that real quick. But regardless, actually I don't. What's that? It's 2x8. I only need 8. I'll find that later. But the thing is, he says that this will get 50 to 60 FPS in ultra settings, and but yeah, that does not look too interesting. And I hope that I hope he's not telling me I'm getting a GTX 1050 Ti 4GB when there is an APU. Is there a graphics? Yeah, there's a graphics. Why do you have an APU and a graphics? Okay, there's a problem there, but I'm gonna follow this up and see what I can get. Okay, so here we are back, and I've actually finished doing the whole parts list. Now, first off, the biggest thing that concerns me is the fact that they've included an APU, which, I mean, an APU for the same, including a graphics card, that concerns me a little bit. Now, the other thing that concerns me is the fact that this price is $750 about. Meanwhile, the other PC list that I have right here comes in at $1,000 and has a 1060, has dedicated graphics, dedicated processor, high-end motherboard, SSD, hard drive, and actually a decent looking case. Which, don't get me wrong, this case actually I did bump up a little bit. I had to find something similar, which, I mean, you could go either way. The case is either way, but just my point being is, even this is exactly what you're looking at here. So I'm just saying something is definitely wrong. I'll follow this a little bit more. Well, I asked the question if I should pre-build or not. He just ended the chat? No, he did. No, he ended the chat. No. Guess what? I asked if I should pre-build a computer. Build a computer on my own, and they kick me out. They don't even give me like a reasoning behind it. They don't even want nothing to do with you if you even like asked if it's worth it or not. You asked for freaking their advice. Oh boy, this is going to be a juicy video, I'm pretty sure. I just found my computer. What a surprise! It's $1,500 more than I paid for mine. Wow. Let's see specs here. Oh boy, this is the same case I have. Everybody keep in mind, if you look in any of my videos, Thermaltake U71, and then actually I have the specialized custom fans, and it's just annoying me making me think like I highlighted it or whatever. By the way, there's an AIO in here, 360mm in mine. Radiator support, let's see, okay, I don't need the specs of the case. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. So, what do we got here? We got graphics. We got a GeForce 1080 Ti. I will assume that is not the Founders Edition and probably not the best quality. They have a 6-core. Oh boy. RAM isn't even up to the same speed I got mine for. I have a slightly lower power supply, so I'll give them credit on there. Storage, we have a 2 terabyte, which I have 4, and 512 gigabytes of SSD. Not M.2 and not NVMe, but I will say that that's probably an extra $100, not necessarily needed there. So right now we're up to $200. I would add on top. Let's see, what are the amount in there? Okay, we have greens. We have I have an LED light strip. I have special LED fans, and then yeah. So sleeving, there's cable sleeving. Okay, I give them credit. That's probably $50. We're up to $250. I'm being very gracious with this. They've got a liquid cooler. Software, I'm assuming, is just Windows 10. Yep, I have Pro, and let's see. There's just accessories. Nothing, and nothing. So all in out, this comes pretty much about $1,300 more than I paid for my machine, and that's just for pretty much a pretty basic machine. So I'm a little concerned just off of that. I know this video was like supposed to be, I don't know, this might have to be a totally different video.